V101, the beat of Sacramento. Happy Friday. Big Al here, Mary J. Blige family affair. And this person right here, I can, fan from afar, so I can, and he's here in the studio, so I can say pseudo family, right?
Now we're up close.
Exactly. Craig Shoemaker in the house.
Next to the Love Master, baby.
Oh,
We need some ladies in here.
I know, huh? We can get some
Feels
ladies
weird.
in the building.
It feels weird to do the Love Master and the Sausage Fest we got going on in here.
Oh, yeah, ladies. If you're listening to the Love Master, baby, I love you so good. Your neighbor will have a smoke, baby. Oh yeah.
There we go. Alrighty, man. It's such a good. I'm a big fan of yours, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I saw you do your thing before, and I also saw you on Parks and Recreation. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Big fan of the show.
They put me on that outfit, with the tri-cornered hat and the knickers.
Boy, so
I stole it when I went to the premiere of Les Mis. I went as Javert. It was pretty cool. I gave it back though.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I played the head of the Liberty or Die party of Pawnee, and I think the reason I didn't come back. I came back again, and then I think the reason I didn't come back again is my big mouth.
Mm-hmm.
There was this guy talking with a Philadelphia accent, and I get on this rant saying, I'm from Philly.
Yeah.
So there's never been a movie in history where an actor and actress played a Philadelphian and used the accent. Of the millions of people I could have gone on that rant in front of, Amy Poehler goes, I did an accent in Baby Mama. There's the end of my career in Parks and Recreation.
It's all over from there.
And she did it right, too. She's a Philadelphia. She's not from Philly, but she really immersed herself in the character. If you really want to be from Philly, though, you got to eat the food, like Scrapple. Have you ever heard of Scrapple?
Yes.
I don't trust anything with the word crap sitting right in the middle of it.
Somewhere in there.
And it's one vowel away from scrap pile, which is what it is, by the way.
Well,
After they make the sausage, they sweep the floor with the guts and the snouts and stuff, and they go, and Philadelphians, put it in a mold, put ketchup on it, put hair on your chest. Thanks for the health tip, Sasquatch.
Wow.
I don't know what kind of meat they use. I dropped it on my lap and started humping my leg, I swear.
Craig Shoemaker, he's been doing his thing over at Tommy T's this weekend. We're going to talk to him more about that, and maybe we can get some Love Master tips maybe sometime in the show.
That's right, ladies. You'll get them all, baby.
Oh, see, here we go. We have to put the bass in the voice now.
I'm actually retiring this year from stand-up.
I know you said that
my
in the
last
show.
year.
I was like, what?
You just saw me.
I just saw you recently.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I just started announcing it. Yeah, on December 31st. That's the end of the stand-up.
Wow, just end of the year, done.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do some other things. Yeah, I always make people laugh, but just in a different way. It's hard to do these hotels and planes and leaving my family.
Oh,
you
man.
know.
I was going to say that it has to be like the grind, man. It's just
grind
for
sometimes,
X amount of time, man. It's going to be taxing.
Yeah.
Road warrior.
Yeah, and I've been doing the road for a very long time. I couldn't wait to be called dad. I didn't have a dad. And my first son, the first word he ever called me, I swear to you, was not dad. He called me airport. Because he knew.
That's what you knew.
He knew that's where he'd be picking me up at the airport. He looks at me and goes, airport.
And that was the sign right
That was
there.
the sign. I went, oh, yeah, you got to do something about this. That was 15 years ago, though. So I'm still doing it. But, yeah, this is the year I just threw my hat over that wall, and I'm going to go get it. It's scary. If it wasn't a money thing, if I made enough money that, I'd be all right. But, yeah, I'm just going to get into other things that hopefully will make me the money that I make now or more.
Is it going to be in industry, out of industry?
Yeah,
or?
well, some. I'm restaurant. I'm opening up a bunch of restaurants.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I bought the rights to a Philadelphia cheesesteak place.
As long as you don't do the sweep under the rug special, we good with that.
No, we're good.
We good with that.
Yeah, we're good. And then, I'm producing a bunch of television shows. I have a book coming out.
Okay.
I'll come back on your show if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
It's called Love Mastered. And it's about mastering love. This is truly about love and not about getting
the
laid.
Love Master. Right.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. And that comes out in June. So there's a bunch of stuff on the horizon. I'm never going to stop.
Right.
It's
just a different phase.
Just different avenues and different ways to go about it.
Tell Al about Whoopi.
Oh, yeah, Whoopi just agreed to review the book. Yeah, she's an old friend of mine, yeah.
Nice.
She's been the #1 influence in my career.
Tell me about, one great anecdotal story about Whoopi, because again, fan watching some TV, movies, watch from afar, but you know her as the person, something like that.
She is, you know how I'm a real dedicated guy, you know, like I'm still friends with my buddies from kindergarten.
Wow.
I mean, literally, we go
Okay.
away every year together, and
Yeah.
that's just the way I am. She's that way, and to the point where, and she'll go to bat. She was dating a friend of mine. That's how I met her for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't even met her, but she saw a tape of mine. And Comic Relief in '96, they discover some new talent, but it's mostly Hollywood. It's like, who has the big manager and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
They said no to me, and she said, I'm not doing the show unless you put him on. Now, you know many people like that in Hollywood,
Wow.
let alone someone you really hadn't met.
Wow.
And I said, just couldn't believe it. And then the first time I met her was on the set of Comic Relief.
Wow.
And she walks in, like the queen, and she looks at me and she goes, "Hey, Shoemaker." And then we've been friends ever since. And she's, she got me on Hollywood Squares, which was a dream job for me.
Wow.
I'll tell this on the air if
Yeah,
you want.
yeah.
I'll tell a Hollywood Squares story. But, and then she's the one person that's actually said, I'm going to speak for you and support you, And I've never had that my whole life, even from family members.
That is cool.
I don't have family. My family would never do anything like that. Honest to God. I mean, but Whoopi, for some reason, with me, always just steps up and is just a good person. And
And see, that's awesome because we hear so much stuff about Hollywood. It's just everybody's
that's right.
Everybody's an a-hole. Everybody's just
That's right.
this. There was somebody else that went through that with it was Witherspoon, John Witherspoon, Pops. It was him
Yeah.
and Letterman and Leno, and they were over at they started out at the
Comedy store.
the Comedy Store
Yeah.
together. And I'm like, he said, oh yeah, I did the 7 o'clock show, and they did
Yeah.
the 9 o'clock show, and I was like, what? And they all like looked at each other. So to see those type of people,
Letterman did that for
Nice
his buddies.
guys, you know.
Letterman's done that for his buddies.
okay,
He still
okay.
has Jimmy Walker on his show, Tom Dreesen on his show. These are old school dudes
Yeah,
that
yeah.
can't get on most shows these days because it's a young market out there,
Right,
and
right.
they're think young. Well, Letterman has all of his old friends. George Miller, when he was alive, he'd have him on all the time. I mean, Letterman was a real dedicated guy.
Yeah.
Leno, the opposite.
Oh,
Opposite. The
Wow,
opposite.
see.
Matter of fact, remember the Tonight Show? Like Johnny Carson, if he gave you the okay sign, that meant your career was made for at least 5 years. Leno's never done that for comedians. He never goes, yeah, come on over here to the couch. I'm going to make you come here now. So he never did that. He didn't do that for anybody. He's like a selfish guy.
Wow.
He's about himself. But as Letterman, you can see it, who he has on. I mean, these are guys that could never do anything these days except for they do the Letterman show, and it keeps their careers alive, and he's dedicated to the guys he grew up with.
Yeah, and then the cool thing is, at least with Letterman, is that you can tell they're the cronies. It's more than just, hey, how you doing?
Right,
The first time.
right.
They're like, all right, so last night we had the martinis.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And you want to get that insider thing. That's
Well,
what I love-
they're
that's what I loved about it.
friends for life.
Yeah.
I mean, this is you. It's like in the comedy world, it's like sharing a foxhole. It's like I see this in the armed forces. I see, these are my brothers. What's the same in comedy for some people, but others like Leno, they go, no, it's about making it and moving forward and all that kind of stuff. Where, and there's a number of people that way. I mean, people have said, what does it take to make it? And, I've known stars before they were stars, and I know them now.
Yeah.
And the ones who made it, believe it or not, they had tunnel vision in making it. And I'm not saying this in a good way either. I say that they'll forget. Like, I know this one star, and she would get to know whoever she needed to know. Like there was this guy, Andy Scarpati, who booked local gigs in Philadelphia.
Right.
Oh, she's buying him baby gifts and stuff like that. She wouldn't know him in a lineup now because she kept upping the status of who she needed to know.
Wow.
And that's what she kept going and going and going because she had tunnel vision. I'm going to make it, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it. And this will be my friend for that moment, but they're long gone when I don't need them anymore.
Man.
And there are people that are amazingly tunnel vision. And it just shocks me. Now, maybe that's part of the reason I never, quote, made it. I mean, I've done very well.
Yeah.
But never a household name and never in my own series and all that kind of stuff. And I think some of that has to do with that I just don't have that in me. I'm much more into be with my family, be with my friends, that resonates with me. Even actually working here at Tommy T's, Tommy's a friend.
Wow.
You know, I stayed at his house on vacations. He was just down at my house hanging out when my baby was born. I got pictures of, you know, he and his wife with the holding the baby when she was just born. And, you know, because, you know, this is like an old school friend, you know, that I've known since the 80s. And you know, we shared these moments together and growing up in the business. And that, to me, is really, really powerful, much more so than just whoever you need to know to make it. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. But Whoopi is one of those people.
Yeah,
she's one of the rare ones, you know, and she made it too. You know, but she's another one, though. She doesn't get feature films anymore. She's a big feature film star. Remember, she won an Oscar.
Yeah. I mean, all the stuff.
She's not doing the feature films anymore because it's the
all
way the
that
business
stuff, right?
is. The business is just you work on numbers and there's no personality in it. You know, she doesn't have the right TVQ or whatever the hell it is. What formula they use? It's a formula.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with character. It's like that's what's most important to me.
It's like metrics and
exactly.
sabermetrics in sports now.
Exactly.
I saw something. And they had something on there like that. Jennifer Lawrence was like the most highest paid actor, and I'm like, where? And so they broke down these sabermetrics.
Wow.
Well, she brings in $8 out of every $12, and then Angelina Jolie brings in $6. I'm like, how do y'all figure that out?
Wow.
What? You know, and like, is that how you guys pick the stars? I'm like, man, that's...
So it's nothing to do with talent. It has to do with a mathematician or a chemist.
Yeah.
Why don't they have them running Hollywood?
Exactly.
Put down that beaker.
Get in the sport.
You can run. You can run, and it's the way it's going on with sports as well.
Yeah.
But people forget that it really is about. I mean, even pro day that they have for NFL and breaking these guys down. You ever watch the NFL draft? How they break these guys down, like Todd McShay and Mel Kiper. It's seriously, it's like they're at a gay nightclub or something. Look at the reach on him, and
Exactly.
Oh my God, he's got a wingspan. Oh, his pecs have measured out at a 29.7 index. I mean, they've got these guys completely measured with no shirts on.
You should see the like you might be talking about the combine.
Yeah, the combine.
That's when they poke and prod you, and they discuss this the entire day.
Entire day. How about for months? And now it's been extended.
He might be the number one because his pecs is 29 and this guy's 27. And his fingernails are longer. I'm like, fingernails? I'm like, can he throw the ball? That's all we want to know.
Yeah, but do they have character? I mean, if you look at some of the greatest athletes in history, I'll give you an example. Joe Montana, to me, he's my favorite quarterback of all time. Now, was Joe Montana the greatest coming out of college? Obviously not. Not even close. Right. Was he the tallest? Did he have the biggest arm? Was he the fastest? None of the above. The guy had character, and that is so important even in whatever talent you have. It's so much more important to me to have the talent and the character and the just the natural ability, and instead of all this manufactured stuff. And I think that's what makes for good teams, for watching good programs on television, because everything now is programmed. Like reality ain't real, by the way.
No,
it ain't real. It's a formula.
Yeah. It's a formula.
Yeah. Oh, let's concoct conflict instead of actually writing something very clever. All the writers in Hollywood, all these talented writers, they're like thrown out to pasture. They got to work on writing lines for Honey Boo Boo. Honey Boo Boo. I didn't even know what the show was. I thought it was about a husband who made a mistake.
Oh, no.
Oh, Honey made a boo boo. I tuned in. It turns out it might have been. I made a mistake.
Yeah. So, I think the whole town was a boo boo. It's just
that's a big old boo. That means a big old Band-Aid on that. Yeah.
And it makes us go like, how did they get on? Well, I could do one. And then so now the YouTube and the everybody's got their 15 seconds of fame, and
that's the problem.
It's
not sustainable because no one's developing talent.
Right.
I remember when I was growing up, you had to learn even how to dance and sing and be versatile and have all of these colors to you. And now everyone has one color from their palette. Who wants to paint your house one color? Yes. Who wants to have cars that are all one color?
Yeah.
It's like we're in Pleasantville here. it's like it's ridiculous. And I just don't understand how anyone would want to exist like that. And the one color that everyone goes with now is we are going to have conflict. We're going to have phony conflict. There's nothing authentic about it. Whereas you went back to stars from years ago, Like Carol Burnett, she's another really cool person.
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
Carol Burnett? You
yeah.
old enough to remember her?
Absolutely.
The Carol Burnett show. She'd tug on her ear, and that was like a really
Yeah.
cool thing. I remember
Jay
I was a little.
Conway and the crew.
I was like a little kid watching that, and I loved that she tugged on her ear, and she did those. But remember, she
Little
had a
things like
personal.
that.
She had a personal touch with the audience, where they would ask her questions, and she would ad lib, and she relied on nothing written for her. There she was. And then you could see the relationship she had with her friends on the show. And all of that just came about. You can't create something like that in a phony sense. It just is because someone developed a talent. So I one time I did she was bringing back the show, the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
And I was now living in Los Angeles, and so quite a few years ago. And I was like the up-and-coming guy. And so they had me screen test with her.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I'll never forget, I walk in, and she goes, "You look familiar." And I go, "Oh, maybe." I said, "Oh, we have
It's
to go
20 seconds, yeah.
Okay,
But
well-
let's do this. Let's pick it up later. But let me do this
got it.
real quick with you. I love hearing stories like that. I love it. V101, the beat of Sacramento. Big Al here. Nelly and City Spud. Before that, Robin Thicke and Pharrell with Blurred Lines and hanging out with Craig Shoemaker. And, you know, it's sad because Robin Thicke, you probably know that he is divorcing his wife, actress Paula Patton.
I hope not for Miley Cyrus.
No, it's even way juicier than that.
Oh, really? I thought.
Apparently they
I
have
was hoping that didn't twerk out.
Apparently they had an open relationship and they had a threesome gone wrong. Let's just say that. And
With who? I hope it was female.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's so now Robin ended up moving Paul out the way and getting with her, and it wasn't cool, and split.
Who's he with now?
Well, apparently 10 women at a no pants party. That's a whole different story right there. I was just kind of curious.
You know, it's funny because it's always the singers.
Yes.
It's never. Women always say they want a sense of humor. What a bunch of crap that is. I've never seen women in the front row of the Tommy T's show. "Oh, tell another joke, comedy boy. Talk about shopping at Costco. You are making me sweat. Oh, yes.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
love a jokester. Talk about my period in your act. Oh, this is fantastic. He wrote that joke about me." No, that
See?
doesn't happen. The
No,
cover of People
no.
magazine, the sexiest man alive is never Carrot Top or the Wayans brothers. Right?
Right.
Why do women lie in the survey? You don't want a sense of humor. That's why this guy's with 10 naked chicks, and I'll be,
Right.
I'll be a Gymboree next week with my kids.
Oh, see.
Yeah, that's where my life is.
It's way too much drama.
I take mommy and me class. Me and a bunch of moms. We're all in a circle, and the women breastfeed in front of me. I got to admit it, I'm peeking. We're singing nursery rhymes. Ryan's mom is smoking hot, smoking hot, smoking hot.
You right
That's
where you
how I
need to
get
be.
Robin Thicke, baby.
Oh, see. I
go to Gymboree and mommy and me class.
I know his dad, Alan Thicke, must be very proud of him right now.
I'm sure. Well, he's been through some too.
Yes. He's probably celebrating like, way to go. Craig Shoemaker, he's over here at Tommy T's this weekend. TommyTees.com. Make sure you go. This guy is
You
incredibly
just let a
funny.
Schumacher out.
Oh, no.
A lot of people do it.
Okay.
You were really cool there for a little while. You had
And
the Craig
then-
Shoemaker, and then you put the umlaut like I'm off the boat from Bavaria. Craig Shoemaker.
Craig
I'm just a
Shoemaker.
little cobbler. Craig Shoemaker.
Craig
Go to CraigShoemaker.com and go find out what's going on.
My bad. Hey, more Craig Shoemaker coming up here. V101, the beat of Sacramento. I screwed it up. I knew I was going to do it.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
Huh?
Everybody does it.
Everybody does it.
There's so many people say is that mocker, this mocker, that mocker. So you just like,
I can tell.
but I'm like trying to grip it and say
I know.
it right.
I'm so sensitive to it now that I can actually see people struggling when they'll literally go, "We're here with Craig Schmidt," and they just stutter a little bit on the meh because they go, "I'm not really sure." And a lot of people, when I walk in, they'll just go, "Look, we've been fighting about this. You got to settle this debate. Which is it?" And it's just a little Shoemaker. Now, what were we talking about? Carol Burnett. Oh,
Carol
Carol
Burnett,
Burnett.
yeah.
So Carol Burnett, I go in for this screen test, and she goes, "You look familiar. Do I know you?" And I said, "Yes, 1966, Mike Douglas show. You were on with Betty Davis. It was Betty Davis's birthday. You popped out of a birthday cake. And she goes, oh, my God, you look so young. You were there. I go, no, my grandmother was there. I was watching from home. And then she literally took off her shoe and started beating me with it. You made me feel so old. I said, but that was such a memory for me. I'll never forget my grandmother was live in the audience, and I like caught a glimpse of her. And as a little kid, you know, I was like a 4-year-old or whatever.
Right.
Oh, my God, there she is. You know, my grandmother. But I remember the episode vividly. I told her what she was wearing, and she was like flipped out because she thought that I was there, but she was doing the math going, how could he be there at this age in 1966 for the Mike Douglas show? But God, she was so cool. You know, here I'm meeting a legend, and she couldn't have been nicer. She's beating me with a shoe. I mean, who does that?
It's just out of love, you know?
It was out of love, exactly right.
But still, I mean, I remember seeing, I'm 44, and so I remember seeing, you know, most of the stuff was reruns, but like Dinah and Mike Douglas and, you know, and Dick Cavett and all the talk shows.
Yeah.
And so I would see, and it was just so much personality, so much character, so much, like you were saying, character. They had their own, they were multi-dimensional.
Right.
And that's something that I see that's missing.
Oh, yeah.
They just want to process you in and out with this one thing.
We're down to 140 characters.
Yeah.
My son told me it's 160, which is the answer, by the way.
It's 140, but
It is 140.
There's extra apps where you can stretch it out.
Oh, great.
Yeah, yeah.
I spend half of my life now. This is why I'm retiring. I spend half of my life now abbreviating.
Exactly.
Instead of people, I go PPL. Now I have to go to my kids to ask them how to abbreviate, how I fit a good, well-written joke, which I was taught to write, with a punchline and a setup and some delivery, and you can't do it now because it has to be 140 characters. I got to put this one together with the 2 double capitals. See, it drives me out of my mind. This is one of the reasons, seriously, I'm getting out of this business. I don't want to promote. You know, there was also a time where I feel like an old guy now. I feel like an old curmudgeon. There was a time I remember actually I would meet with guys like old comedians like Pat Cooper. I met him when I was younger, and he said, "You kids with the 4-letter words, you suck." And I was like, shut up, old man. That's what I was thinking. I listened to the guy, but I was shut up. You know what you're talking about. He doesn't know what new comedy is about. You're supposed to use 4-letter words, but
Man.
I feel like that sometimes. But yeah, it's frustrating to you know, because it limits the possibilities of your amount of laughter or your amount of joy, because you're now taking it and reducing it. You're literally reducing it down to these characters and a short attention span where there's no more storytelling. There's no more let's go on a journey with you. Nope, not going to happen anymore because the journey lasts as long as you open up your phone and close it. I mean, that's as long as you can go. And it's smartphone. It's for dumb people. I mean, you know what I mean? Think about it. I mean,
it's so efficient. You don't have to do much. You know, when somebody, you can tell when somebody forgets their smartphone or forgets their phone at the house, and you ask them, "Hey, call me. I don't know your number anymore because it's on the phone." I'm going like,
"Oh yeah."
I've known you for 12 years. You don't know my number by now?
Seriously.
You know?
I mean, I do not know my kids' phone numbers. I have no idea. I could give you maybe the first 3 numbers.
Wow.
And I remembered everyone's phone. And that was, by the way, a source of pride because you worked your memory in a certain way. I remember certain people's phone numbers I used a formula, which is fun. It's a fun way to do math. I used the formula of football and hockey players from Philadelphia, and that's how I would remember people's phone numbers.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
And I used our high school football team.
Give me an example.
Okay, so Dave Margolis was his number was V6, which was a common number, or 836.
Right.
Back then, you actually used letters too.
Yeah.
It was Vernon 6, VE6, and he was Cassidy Bucci. He was 2761.
Wow.
That was Frank Cassidy's number in high school, and Artie Bucci's number was 61.
And that's how you put it all together.
So I would go, "Hey, Margolis, Cassidy Bucci." And then you have it, right?
Done, yeah.
And then I have other people that I use Philadelphia Flyers, you know. I use Barbara Clark, 0716. And that's
crazy.
It was 7 and 16.
That's how you were able to put it all together.
Yeah, and I use Flyers, Eagles, and then I combine it with some Springfield Spartans, and that's how I had my formula. And it was really, I still remember their phone numbers. But I couldn't tell you anyone's number now because all of our memories, we're not even working that side of our brain anymore. It's so automatic. My kids have no idea how to research something without they just go to Google. So imagine that.
Yeah.
What if it all shut down? That's the thing that worries me is like if it all shut down tomorrow, like suddenly like you nuked every tower.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's no Google to go to and by the way, I'm tempted too. You know, you get in a little bet with someone, go, I can't figure that guy's name. And instead of like figuring out the guy's name, you go,
yeah,
oh, here
Google
it is.
Yeah, Wikipedia. Get it all done.
Exactly. That's that actor's name. But no, I mean, that was, do people do crossword puzzles like that now? That was like a source of pride for me. I'd finish a crossword puzzle. I go, I did that.
You did with your own brain.
I didn't go to Google and do that. I did this with the assist of Siri. Siri co-signed my crossword puzzle.
There you go. Craig Shoemaker in the house. I got it right. I see. I'm trying to work on it hard. See, I'm trying to redeem my coolness back. With
Now
this
you're going to
guy.
call me the love maker instead of love master. I'm just going to mess you up big time.
The love lover. See, it's going to be all bad.
This has been fun off the air.
Yeah.
We've been having a great time. Now, can people watch this somewhere, what we're doing
Matter
off
of
the
fact,
air?
yeah, we're going to post it on V1011fm.com, our website.
Fun interview.
People can check out some great stuff on air, off air.
Yeah.
And we got a thing called 5 Questions we're going to do a little bit later on, too. So that's
Great.
going to be lovely. So, dude, how...
We were talking about celebrities off the air.
Celebrities.
Have you ever met any celebrities?
A few.
Any encounters?
Any
Who's your
encounters?
biggest encounter?
Wow. I mean, most of the stuff is on the music side. But,
Oh, okay.
But Will Smith, Keith Sweat.
I just saw Will the other day.
Lil Wayne.
He was
There's a
golfing.
rapper named Lil Wayne. Yeah.
Will was golfing at the country club.
Yeah.
This guy's got some guns on him these days.
Oh, he's swole, man.
And I don't know why I play golf in these celebrity things. I got a trophy for closest to the car. Man.
I'm doing a charity basketball game over the weekend over at Encina High School down here.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy to fit into the shorts, basically. That's all I'm doing. I'm just there.
Oh,
just
I'm
to
with
stand
you,
there.
man. I had my body fat measured. They found my car keys. There's where they've been. I'm getting a little, poundage. But I've been meeting celebrities, and it's really funny because I'm still a Philadelphian.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not into Hollywood, so I'm so real with them, and they're not used to this. I worked with Patrick Stewart. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, yeah.
Now I know him from Star Trek. He was, Captain Picard. Now
Jean-Luc and all that.
he's Professor Xavier, and so we do this movie together. And everybody goes, "Oh, go do." I do impressions. I go, "Do an impression of him. Just do it. He'll love it." I walked up to him. Make it so, number one. He looks at me. You're a weenie. Make him go away. Remove him. He says, "Go do your comedy skit elsewhere."
It's like go to hell, but very proper. Like.
Yeah, go to hell in a proper sir way.
Right.
Because he tells me to do my comedy skit elsewhere.
Oh,
go do Tommy T's in a shopping center, wherever you go in Rancho Cordova. And so I finally loosened him up. I said, I was like, I'm a Philly guy. He's this regal Shakespearean actor. I'm playing the Chuckle Hut in Wingaloogie, Michigan next week. So I said to him, "Hey, Patrick, when you were a kid, you ever like checking out your package and then you tuck it back? You see what you look like as a woman?" I said, "You ever give yourself a mangina?" He goes,
"What?"
He goes, "Yes, Craig, I've done a mangina. Everybody has. If you're naked in bed, one leg goes over, you have a mangina."
That's so crude and proper.
Exactly. He's made it proper to have a mangina. Oh my God, we had so much fun. I said, "Did you ever try Rocket Man?" He goes, "What's Rocket Man, Craig? I'm intrigued." I said, "Well, when you tuck it back into the launch pad, you go 5, 4, 3, 2. There you got a Rocket Man." He goes, "Let's wrap it up and go home and do Rocket Man. Engage." It's so cool when the celebrities do lighten up and become you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They don't have to put that front up there.
Oh, yeah. You saw me a few months ago.
Absolutely.
Right? Over the other Tommy
Absolutely.
T's.
Yeah.
Did you learn from the Love Master? Did I teach you?
You taught me proper. I had to apply those messages.
I give you skills.
Those life lessons.
Do you know how many people have actually, seriously, this is dead serious, actually have babies that are created after my show?
Really?
Not from me, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Although I do have 4 myself.
Right.
I'm quite the Love Master. But I had a photo sent. This little girl, she's like laughing, a tiny little baby just laughing with her tongue out, and she was conceived in the parking lot of the Brea Improv after my show. Because every guy goes home and try to be the Love Master.
Oh, baby, they'll do the whole thing.
Well, yeah, they all sound like Kermit the Frog.
I'm the Love Master. Hey, look. Hey, hang a towel on there, okay?
And all the women are going, yeah, right. But it makes people laugh. And laughter is so good for you. That's the message I'm trying to spread. We're doing a documentary about the healing powers of laughter.
Man.
So we need to pack out comedy clubs. Even if you don't go to Tommy T's and see me this weekend, if I'm at your cup of tea, go next week.
Right.
Because that's what you should do for your own medicine. Laughter's the best medicine.
Get your laugh on, man.
Open up and say hi for the Love Master, baby.
See, that automatically makes the voice go deeper. Like,
I got the tongue depressor, baby. Oh, the Love Master Love, baby. Yeah, there's 206 bones in a woman's body. Want to make it 207, baby?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to act up.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Got my name right and everything.
See?
Go to CraigShoemaker.com. No mocker, no umlaut. Go to CraigShoemaker.com. You can check out my webcast for free. We have great guests. Samuel L. Jackson was just on. Katie Seagal, REO Speedwagon, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, we go all over the 80s, 90s, and 70s. I sound like a radio guy. 70s, 80s, and 90s, all up on the CraigShoemakerShow.com. But go check it out. But real pleasure hanging with you.